All right, let's talk about those really tough emotions. Anger, stress. What if I told you the secret to managing them isn't to fight them off, but to just pause for a second? I know, it sounds almost too simple, but trust me, it's an absolute game changer. So let's dive right in.
The first thing we have to get straight is this. Anger isn't some kind of personal failure. It's not a flaw. It's just part of being human. It's as normal as feeling happy or sad. Every single one of us feels it when we get stressed out or frustrated. It's just baked into our DNA.
So, that's the million-dollar question, right? If it's so completely normal, why does it feel like it just hijacks us sometimes? You know that feeling where it just takes over and suddenly you're saying or doing things you totally regret later? How can a basic emotion feel so out of control?
Well, to figure that out, we're going to have to look at anger in a totally different way. What if it's not actually the bad guy we've all been taught to believe it is? Yeah, instead of always trying to crush it or suppress it, what if we just got curious about it? What if we treated it less like an enemy at the gates and more like a messenger, trying to tell us something really important? And that's a huge reframe, right? Thinking of anger as a signal. It's like this jolt of energy that flares up to let you know, hey, a boundary was just crossed, or hey, one of your needs isn't being met. So seen that way, the anger itself isn't the problem at all. It's just the alarm bell trying to get your attention.
Okay, but if it's just a messenger, why does it feel like a hostile takeover? Well, to work with it, we got to understand why it feels that way. And the answer, believe it or not, is deep inside our own brains. See, here's the thing about our brains. Their number one job isn't to make us nice or polite at parties. It's to keep us from getting eaten. Seriously. Our most powerful reactions are all tied back to these ancient survival programs that prioritize safety over, well, everything else. And let me introduce you to the main character in this story, the amygdala. The best way to think about it is like a smoke detector in your brain. It's super simple, it's not very smart, it just has one job, scan for danger. And when it thinks it sees a threat, and here's the kicker, it can't tell the difference between a real-life tiger and a really bad traffic jam, it just yanks the alarm cord.
And this is what happens in what they call an amygdala hijack. It's a chain reaction. Step 1, something triggers you. Step 2, the alarm bell fires. And then, this is the crucial part. To save a few milliseconds, which could be life or death on the savannah, your body literally shuts down blood flow to the smart, rational part of your brain. All that energy gets rerouted to your muscles for fight or flight. And the result? You react before you even have a chance to think.
Okay, so this is where our big tool comes into play. Because once you understand that biological sequence, you realize you can't just think your way out of a rage. The thinking part of your brain is offline. So we need a totally different strategy, one that actually works with our biology instead of fighting it.
And the whole goal here is to move from reacting to responding. Reacting is that automatic, knee-jerk, hijacked state. Responding, that's intentional. It's thoughtful. It's the huge difference between being a puppet pulled by your emotions and actually choosing how you want to handle the situation. I love this analogy. It's like when your car starts skidding on ice, right? Your gut screams to jerk the wheel in the opposite direction, but that's the worst thing you can do. It just spins you out. The only way to regain control is to do the thing that feels totally wrong. You have to gently turn into the skid. And dealing with anger is exactly like that. Instead of fighting it and making it worse, you gently turn toward it with a little bit of awareness. So let's be super clear. Mindfulness is not about emptying your mind or magically getting rid of anger. It's not. It's simply about creating a tiny little bit of space, just a moment, a pause between the trigger and your usual reaction. And in that tiny little gap, that's where all your power is. Okay, so how do we actually create that space when our brain is screaming at us? Let's get really practical. I'm going to give you a tool you can use literally the next time you feel that flash of anger or that wave of stress. It's called the emergency pause, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's like pulling the e-brake on that whole amygdala hijack sequence. The best part? You don't need a special pillow or a silent room. You can do this anywhere, anytime, in just a couple of seconds. All right, here's how it works. It's 4 quick steps. First, just feel your feet on the ground. Seriously, notice the sensation. That pulls you right back into the present moment. Second, track one full breath, just one. Follow it all the way in and all the way out. Third, notice those angry thoughts swirling around and just label them in your head. Thoughts. Not the truth, just thoughts. And finally, do a quick scan of your body. Where is the anger?
Is it heat in your face? Is it a knot in your stomach? Just notice it, without judgment. Boom. That's it. You've just created that space.
And you know what's really cool? That simple little pause, if you practice it again and again, does more than just help you in a tough moment. It starts to have these incredible, lasting effects on your actual brain and your body.
Yeah, this isn't just some fluffy, feel-good idea. This is straight-up neuroscience. Every time you practice that pause, you are literally rewiring your brain. You're strengthening the neural pathways for calm and focus, and you're weakening the hair-trigger connection to that amygdala alarm bell.
In fact, the research is pretty mind-blowing. It shows that this kind of practice can actually shift activity to the parts of your brain associated with positive emotions. It helps calm down that amygdala, making it less likely to freak out over small stuff. And get this, some studies are even showing it might protect the little caps on the ends of your DNA, which could literally slow down aging at a cellular level. How wild is that?
And this quote from Viktor Frankl just nails it. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. Look, life is always going to throw stuff at you, right? There will always be triggers. Mindfulness doesn't stop the triggers. But what it does is it gives you that space. And in that space, you get to choose your response. And that choice, well, that's freedom.
So, in the end, it's not a question of if you'll feel angry or stressed again, because you will. We all will. The real question is this: the next time it happens, what are you going to do with that space?